Hi, I'm Megan and welcome to my kitchen. In today's What's for Dinner video, I'm going to share with you what we had for dinner the past 2 weeks. Now, today's video is a little unusual. One, it's for 2 weeks instead of just one. And two, there are several quick meals and eating out as my mom and I went to Kentucky for a family Easter celebration and then on to Chicago, and we were there for a few days. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're looking for, a more normal video with cooking and lots of weeknight meal ideas, check out my What's for Dinner playlist down in the description box below for you. But in the meantime, let me show you what we had the past 2 weeks. First up is a cheesy chicken, broccoli, and rice casserole. I have been trying to work through my freezers and pantry, and I had this chicken and rice frozen meal from Marie Callender's that I needed to use up. And then I have these Texas Roadhouse rolls. So I just baked the casserole according to the package instructions. And at the very end, maybe about 5 minutes before it was done, I gave it a stir. I tasted it. I added just the tiniest bit of salt, some pepper, and a little garlic powder, and then finished the last 5 minutes. And then I cooked the rolls according to the package instructions, but I did overcook the rolls. They got too brown and hard, so don't do like I did and overcook them. And then I wanted a really quick side, so I just took a can of corn, drained it, added a little butter and seasoned salt. But yeah, here are the plates. We had the broccoli chicken casserole, and that wasn't bad for a frozen dinner. That was actually pretty good. And then we've got the rolls, and then the corn, a very yellow dinner, but delicious and super easy. For dinner the next night, I decided to do some teriyaki chicken bowls. I had these teriyaki chicken thighs. I got these from Sam's Club. These were in my freezer. I really needed to use them up. That was kind of the inspiration for doing this. I didn't follow a recipe. Here are the other ingredients that I'm going to use for our bowls tonight. And you can, of course, feel free to make these your own. I've got some wonton strips, pineapple slices. I'm going to chop those up. I have some of the Kinder's Japanese barbecue sauce. You can also use teriyaki sauce. Everything but the bagel seasoning, some mandarin oranges. These little bags here are the Trader Joe's frozen organic brown rice. I'm going to heat those up according to the package instructions. I've got some sesame seeds. This is some shelled edamame that I allowed to thaw. And then I've got some green onions that I chopped, as well as some shredded carrots. One of the things I love about those chicken thighs are that they're already fully cooked. All you have to do is reheat them. I believe the package instructions give you for the microwave, the oven, and maybe the stovetop. I can't remember. I do it in the air fryer, 360 degrees for maybe 6 to 7 minutes, just until they're 165 degrees internal temperature. I chop them up and then top them with some of that Kinder's Japanese barbecue sauce. While I was pulling those chicken thighs out, I saw I had a couple bags of these mini wontons, and so I decided to cook those up. I had some of the Goiza Trader Joe's sauce, so we're going to dip that. I looked on Google and found some instructions on how to cook those pot stickers in the air fryer. It was really easy. I just added a couple tablespoons of water, popped them in the air fryer. I want to say at 390 degrees for maybe 4 minutes until they were golden brown to our liking. All right, here is my finished bowl, and I do apologize. I don't know what happened. I don't know if my phone was acting crazy or if I accidentally deleted footage or what, but I've got a few missing clips from today's video, and I do apologize about that. One of them is I showed you how I make my homemade yum yum sauce, and I topped our teriyaki chicken bowls with that. Like I said, I don't know what happened to that footage, but I have shared that before on my channel a few times. I'll put the recipe in the description box below for you. And so we have the teriyaki chicken bowls with some of those pot stickers and the dipping sauce. Delicious, delicious. Delicious. This is a quick and easy dinner that you can put together, and your whole family can make their chicken teriyaki bowls exactly how they like them. Gary had been craving wings, and he also in the past couple weeks requested pizza dip. So on this night, I decided to do some wings and pizza dip. And again, lost footage here. Don't know what happened. What I did was took some frozen chicken wings that I had on hand, thawed them. I patted them dry really well, seasoned them with some salt, pepper, paprika, and garlic powder. Placed them on some wire racks, and then pop them into the oven at about 400 degrees for maybe about 40 minutes until they were 165 degrees internal temperature. I removed them, and then I used some of the Buffalo Wild Wings garlic Parmesan sauce on some of them. the Buffalo Wild Wings medium sauce on some of them, and then some Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce on some of them, and then pop them back in the oven for about 5 minutes. Then for the pizza dip, I have shared this before on my channel. I will put that recipe in the description box below for you. And I toasted up some sliced bread to dip in the pizza dip. And yeah, that was dinner that night. Wings and the pizza dip, yummy, yummy, yummy. I love that pizza dip, and those garlic parmesan wings, so good. For dinner the next night, we just did leftovers. Gary had some of the leftover wings, and I had some of the leftover pizza dip. I had some scallops in my freezer, so I did garlic butter scallops. And again, I don't know what happened to the footage of me cooking the scallops. Again, I apologize about that. What I did was I took the scallops. Again, they were frozen. I thawed them, patted them dry really well. I added them to a super hot pan with some olive oil and seared them for a couple minutes on both sides. I then seasoned them with some salt and pepper on both sides. Added some butter, minced garlic, and some fresh chopped parsley with a squeeze of lemon, and that was the garlic butter scallops. Here I cooked up some 4-cheese risotto. I got this from Aldi. Here's the package. I just cooked it according to the package instructions. And the package did say for a little extra, zhuzh, you could add in a little pat of butter and some grated Parmesan cheese at the end. And so I opted to do that. For the other side, I did a quick saute. I just took some sliced shallots, cooked them on medium heat in a little bit of olive oil and butter. Once the shallots were tender, I added in some chopped asparagus, little salt and pepper, some frozen peas. Cooked those until the asparagus and peas were done to my liking. And then I had about a half a package of the Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuit mix in my pantry that I really needed to use up, so I just cooked those up according to the package instructions. Here are the plates. So I laid down a bed of that risotto, added some of the scallops along with that butter sauce on top. And then we have the asparagus and pea saute with those Cheddar Bay biscuits. This was a delicious dinner. And I ended up mixing the asparagus and peas with my risotto. Gary did the same. So good. For dinner the next night, I made some cheeseburgers. I started out by making a bacon ranch pasta salad. Here is everything that I'm going to use to make it. I've got some small shell pasta. You can use whatever kind of pasta you want. I just cooked this up according to the package instructions in some salted water and then drained it really well, rinsed it in cold water. I've got some grape tomatoes. I quartered those. I have some frozen peas I allowed to thaw. And then I've got some sharp cheddar cheese I cut up into cubes, some bacon pieces, and ranch. And I just literally eyeballed everything, didn't really follow a recipe. Just add as much or little as what you like of everything. And then I popped it into the fridge to chill. And like I said, I have no idea what happened to me showing you the finished pasta salad. But you'll see it on the finished plate in just a second. I really wanted some baked beans, so I decided to throw this together. Again, didn't follow a recipe. I've got some bacon pieces, Worcestershire sauce, yellow mustard, ketchup, brown sugar. I decided to slice up some hot dogs. I had this shallot that I needed to use up, so I diced that up. And then instead of pork and beans or baked beans, I had several cans of cannellini beans in my pantry that really needed to be used up. So I decided to use those instead. Again, didn't follow a recipe. I just eyeballed everything, mixed it together, put it into a greased baking dish, and baked it at 350 degrees for about an hour. For the burgers, I had some ground beef in my freezer. I allowed that to thaw, and then I found this caramelized onion butter Kinder's seasoning packet. This was in my pantry. I'd used like a third of it before, and so I just made out our patties, seasoned the burgers on both sides with that seasoning, cooked them on my little Cuisinart grill, and then here is my finished plate. Gary ate later than I did. I've got my burger. I used some of the leftover burger sauce from the week before. I will put that video in the description box below for you. And then I've got the bacon ranch pasta salad and those beans. The beans, they had good flavor, but, sometimes when you get canned beans, they're just hard. And that's how these beans were. And so even though the flavor was good, the beans were just rock hard. But that's okay. Everything can't be a winner, right? The burger and the pasta salad was still yummy. Okay, so dinner the next night, I apologize. I did not get any footage or pictures or anything of this dinner. My mom had come over and we'd run several errands and kind of, quickly put dinner together. We did some baked potatoes loaded and then just a big side salad, and that was dinner that night. The next day, my mom and I drove up to Kentucky and we celebrated Easter with some of my mom's side of the family. We had ham, turkey, and dressing. One of the dressings has onions, the other one does not. We've got giblet gravy, some pasta salad, macaroni and cheese, potato salad, mashed potatoes, corn, baked beans, rolls. My mom brought the potato salad, and then we have the strawberries in the snow. I have shared this recipe before. It's my cousin's recipe. I'll put it in the description box below for you. And then I brought my lemon bundt cake. Again, I've shared that before. I'll link that recipe video down below for you. And then my other cousin made homemade butterscotch pie and homemade chocolate pie. So got a little bit of everything. Everything was delicious. And then for the desserts, I got some of the strawberries and snow, a little sliver of my cake, and then I tried the butterscotch pie. I've not had butterscotch pie since I was a little girl, and it was delicious. It was perfect. Not too sweet, not overwhelmingly butterscotchy, but it was delicious. I got to get my cousin's recipe for that. It was so good. So the next day, my mom and I left Kentucky and drove up to Chicago. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I've talked about my pa a lot. He was married to my granny, my mom's parents, and he passed away a couple years or so ago. If you've been with me for a while, you know we were very close to him. He has 3 older sisters. One of them passed away a few years ago. The other 2 are still alive. They're still with us. The 92-year-old sister lives in our hometown, and so when we go up there, we try to visit her. But his older sister, who is 93 years old, she lives in Chicago, and she is my mom's favorite aunt, and my mom has not seen her in years, and she's not doing well, health-wise. And so my mom has really, really been wanting to see her. For my mom's 60th birthday last month, my dad gifted her a trip up to Chicago. And so that's why we went. We went up to see my mom's favorite aunt. And this first night when we got into town, because it was my mom's kind of birthday trip, she got to choose all the meals, and she wanted Texas Roadhouse. So we started out with their deliciously amazing rolls and their butter. And then we got their, I don't know what they call it, but it's basically their version of a bloomin' onion. And then for my entree, I got their steak tips, but I get them without the gravy or sour cream or cheese. So it's basically just steak tips and sauteed onions and mushrooms. And then I got a loaded baked potato on the side. And it also came with a salad. The baked potato and salad are not pictured. And then my mom got their 6-ounce sirloin with a loaded baked potato and salad. And y'all, our eyes were totally bigger than our stomachs. We had half the rolls left, half the onion left. I had half my steak tips left, my whole baked potato, and my mom didn't even touch her steak or baked potato. We had all of that left over, so we took it back to the hotel, and that's what we had for dinner the next night. Is we had all of our Texas Roadhouse leftovers. The next day, we did some sightseeing, drove to different parts of the town, and ended up at the Navy Pier. We did one of the boat cruises, but before that, we stopped and had some pizza. We did Frankie's Pizza by the Slice. My mom had a slice of pepperoni. I had a slice of the pepperoni and sausage. It was delicious. So stinking good. And then for the last night in Chicago, we had several different restaurants that we were thinking about going to. But as we were trying to decide, I asked my mom, I was like, honestly, what sounds good to you? And White Castle sounded good to her. We don't have a White Castle near us, and she loves it. So we just went, got some White Castles, some of their fries and drinks, and that was our dinner that night. The next day, we drove home from Chicago, and the night that we stopped and got White Castles, I stopped at, I don't know if it's called Portillo's or Portillo's. I've seen so many people suggest it. I'm kind of bummed I didn't get anything there, but Gary really wanted to try a Chicago hot dog, and so I got one for him and took it home. And so when we got home after driving, he ate the Chicago dog, and then I'd also gotten him a slice of pizza from Frankie's. And so he had the pizza, and then I ate the leftover White Castles, and that was our dinner that night. Now, I'm going to share just a couple little quick pictures with you from our trip to Chicago. Here we had eaten at a place called the Lucky Hot Dog, and y'all don't judge me. If you've been with me for a while, you know I have things about food and certain foods mixing. I just could not do a Chicago style hot dog. But I got a regular hot dog with just ketchup and mustard, and then my mom and I got a corn dog for us to split. We got a cup of cheese sauce with some fries, and the hot dog was delicious. It had a good snap. It was so juicy. The bun was perfectly steamed. The corn dog was delicious. But yeah, it was really good. This is from where we were meeting with my great aunt. So we had a really nice long visit with her. She told us lots of stories. And at the end, she was showing us her china cabinet and like all her little knickknacks and what they mean to her. And she pointed this pink picture out to us. And this is so, my mom and I both teared up. So I'll try to make this quick. My grandfather's mother passed away when he was, I think, 3 or 4 years old. She died from complications due to childbirth of his younger brother. And while she was sick, my great-grandfather brought her this pink picture along with 2 other pieces. And when she passed away, the 3 pieces went to the 3 girls. And we did not know anything about this. And we, didn't even know that anyone in the family had anything of my great-grandmother's, because she passed away when my grandfather and his siblings were so young. And so when my great-aunt was telling us about this, my mom and I teared up, and she ended up giving it to my mom. And then my mom wants me to have it later. So we very, very carefully packed that and brought it back home to Nashville with us. The next couple pictures I wanted to share with you are from the Navy Pier. So this is the Ferris wheel. And then, like I said, we took a little boat cruise of the lake shore and learned about the history of Chicago. And it was just gorgeous. It was a gorgeous day. It was beautiful. There was an old lighthouse there. It was so pretty. And while I was gone, Gary sent me the next few pictures of Happy and Pepper. They had a little Easter party at the place where they go for like grooming and daycare. And here are some of their pictures. They are so stinking cute. I had to share them with you guys. And the lady at the daycare, when we went to pick them up, she said a lot of the dogs weren't too thrilled with the Easter bunny, but Happy and Pepper, especially Happy, loved it. You guys, can you not see his cute little smile? And they sent us, multiple different pictures that they had taken. And Happy, Pepper too, but more Happy, just absolutely loved the Easter bunny. He was grinning from ear to ear in all of the pictures, and they were so cute. I had to share it with you all. And I get requests, are like, hey, show it. You talk about your dogs all the time. We want to see them. So thought I would squeeze that in here. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't one of my normal ones, but hopefully still you got some dinner ideas from it, and I wanted to kind of, share with you a little bit of our trip. I do share things on Instagram and Facebook from my everyday life. So if you're not following me over there, follow me. When I was in Chicago, I shared some pictures and things like that and stories and different things. So yeah, follow me over there if you're not. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.